What's up, everyone? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity Ant C, and I'm joined by my own hot commodity,
That's me.
Smoking Ant B. And today we are jumping into our time machine and we're saying goodbye to 2025 and hello to the Attitude Era and to 2001, where George W. Bush is president. People still have most of their cable services, Comcast, DirecTV, and I was like 7 or 8, and you were what, 16?
Yeah.
But no, you were younger. You were a freshman still, so you were like 14, right? 14 or 15
No, I was
in
in
2001.
2001. I was 16.
But you were still 15 at this point. You would turn 16 in a couple months.
Yeah.
In August.
Yeah.
But you were 15. I think I was 15 in my freshman year of high school, too.
So you were 8 and I was 15.
So different points of view probably from when we watched this, because this is your first time watching this pay-per-view, WrestleMania 17, and I've seen it now at least over 6 times.
Well, this was actually the second time because we watched.
Oh yeah, we did watch them. Yeah. But that wasn't really. It was hard to really like. Not even
was like
you
seeing it
didn't
for the first time
care.
because we watched so many close together. I couldn't tell you one match from any of them.
And we didn't. There wasn't really like storylines behind it. It was just watching the matches, so you got a better grasp of what was going on.
Right.
So before we cover the pay-per-view, we're going to talk about what happened in March of 2001 in terms of movies and TV. Well, not. Yeah, I guess we'll cover a little bit of TV because I have some notes here. Let's cover TV first. So I want to look up different TV shows that might have debuted during this month. March 28th, My Wife and Kids debuted on ABC.
Never heard of it.
It was on ABC Family for a while too. It's Marlon Wayans. It's him and he's like a dad. And then on March 30th on Nickelodeon, The Fairly Odd Parents and Invader Zim debuted. I was a big Fairly Odd Parents fan.
Yeah.
I didn't really like Invader Zim, but I did like Fairly Odd Parents. You ever seen those?
No.
Never.
I've seen like
Timmy Turner.
Yeah.
Vicky. They have a character in there named Chip Skylark, and he's voiced by Chris Kirkpatrick.
Oh.
And he has a song called, I think it's Icky Vicky, I think. He has a couple of songs. But anyways, that was what was happening in TV. Let's talk about the movies of 2001. This movie has been on, again, it's been on a tier here. Number 10, Chocolat, or I don't know if it's pronounced. I mean, there was no E at the end, so I'm just going to pronounce it like that. I think it was the French movie that we've been talking about.
It's the movie. It's with Johnny Depp.
Okay. I think. Number 9 is 15 Minutes, and that says a homicide detective and a fire marshal stop a pair of murderers who commit videotaped crimes to become media darlings. That has Robert De Niro, Edward Burns, Kelsey Grammer, Avery Brooks. I've never heard of it before seeing it on this list. But it got a 6.1, so could be good. Number 8 is Traffic. That was on the list too. That's about the people trafficking the drugs. Number 7, Down to Earth. That was another movie that was out last month. It's where I think it's like an angel comes down to Earth and he's funny. I think it's Chris Rock is in that one. 6 is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Never seen that movie. Have you?
No.
Number 5. You always say Jackie Chan.
Oh, I mean,
racist.
Who is it?
Kim Jong-un.
Wow.
All right. Number 5, Enemy at the Gates. A Russian and a German sniper play a game of cat and mouse during the Battle of Stalingrad. And that's with Jude Law, Joe Fine, Rachel Weisz, Bob Hoskins, Ed Harris. That got a 7.5. I never saw that. No, Enemy at the Gates.
I like Ed Harris. But...
Number 4 is See Spot Run. I know it's about a dog.
It's a show?
No, it's a movie. A mailman takes care of a dog that, unbeknownst to him, is an FBI drug sniffing super dog that has escaped from the witness protection program after being the target of an assassination. Uh,
It's
it
not a
has
cartoon.
David Arquette, Michael Clark Duncan, Leslie Bibb, Joe Vertarelli, Angus T. Jones.
I oddly kind of want to watch it.
Steve Sherpia, Anthony Anderson, Paul Sorvino. So it has a lot of like the Italian gangsters. So what is it? It's like a dog that's like,
That's in the witness protection program.
oh, because he's
He was a drug sniffing dog, and he got people in trouble. Now he's in the witness protection program, and they're looking for him to kill him.
That's
the gangsters are mad at the dog.
That's funny.
It's funny.
Number 3 is Hannibal, which we talked about last month.
Yeah, I love that.
Number 2 is Exit Wounds. That says, okay, Orrin Boyd, a tough cop in an inner city precinct, discovers a web of dirty cops and corruption. That's with Steven Seagal, DMX, Isaiah Washington, Anthony Anderson. It's one of your basic, cop crime type movies. And I kid you not, the number 1 movie of March 2001, I had to look it up because I was like, I wonder what this is about. It's called The Mexican.
Oh, Julia Roberts and Brad Pitt.
Yes. A man tries to transport an ancient gun called the Mexican, believed to carry a curse, back across the border while his girlfriend pressures him to give up his criminal ways. Like you said, Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, James Gandolfini, who's Tony Soprano.
I've heard that's a good movie.
J.K. Simmons. Yeah, it's the number 1 movie. It got a 6.1, but it's the number 1 movie of March 2001.
I don't want to watch it.
All right, let's talk about the songs. Number 10 for March 2001 is Put It On Me by Ja Rule. I like that song.
Baby girl, put it on.
I had to look up the song. I never heard it before. Number 9, Promise by Jagged Edge. Then when I listened to it, I knew I never heard it before.
I know. I like Let's Get Married by Jagged Edge.
Me too. Number 8 is It's Over Now by 112.
I don't know it.
7, Don't Tell Me by Madonna.
Don't you?
Number 6, It Wasn't Me by Shaggy. Number 5, Love Don't Cost a Thing by Jennifer Lopez.
That's good.
4, Again by Lenny Kravitz. That's been on the...
That's a good one.
That, Love Don't Cost a Thing, those songs have been on it for a while now. It Wasn't Me as well. Number 3, Angel by Shaggy. And this song is debuting here. Number 2, Butterfly by Crazy Town. It's the first time we're talking about this song.
I love that song.
And
I still listen to it all the time.
Yeah. And the number 1 song of... I told you that was my first MySpace song.
Yeah.
Butterfly. And I remember
Shifty.
You could see the album covers on the MySpace, and it was the girl with the lollipop with all the tattoos. And I think she has like a halo, right?
Something like that.
All right, and the number 1 is Stutter by Joe. Stutter.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, I know. You've said this about this song before, but I haven't played it for you to have it. But I don't think you would know it. But those are the top 10 songs and movies of March 2001. I remember these songs a bit. Don't really remember most of those movies. So, all right, let's move on to what everyone came here for. We're covering WWF Wrestlemania 17 live in Houston, Texas on April 1st, 2001. And our first match of the night, we have WWF Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho defending against Commissioner. Here comes my speech impediment. Commissioner William Regal. During the match, Regal exposes the turnbuckle pad and sends Chris Jericho in it. Regal applies a Regal stretch, but Jericho is able to send William Regal into the exposed turnbuckle. Hit a suplex, a lionsault, and Chris Jericho retains the championship in the opening match. You thought Regal was going to win it for a minute when we watched it. What did you think of this match here?
It was good. I mean, I feel like Regal shouldn't be wrestling when he's the commissioner. But I'm glad.
I'm checking off. What's that called when you're like doing something that
It's like
it's when you're like, if you're a boss and you're dating an employee.
Yes, I know exactly what you're trying to think.
It's a
and I'm stoned and I can't think of it.
It's like a
like a right
whatever. It's basically, it's against. It's not.
It means you have something to do with it.
So it's unethical. You're the commissioner.
But that's not what we're trying.
That's
to
not the word, but I know what you're trying to say.
It's right on the tip of my tongue.
I know it's
killing me
when you're doing something that I don't know. I can't.
It's like between church and state. It's how they separate. How the government separates religion. Conflict of interest.
There you go. Conflict of interest.
God, that was going to annoy me.
Right, it is a conflict of interest because it's like if he wins, he's going to be a champion, and it's like.
Anyway,
so
we're spending way too much time on this. I was glad that he lost, and
Test. Fuck Commissioner William, not Test, Chris Jericho.
Jericho.
Oh my God, you are high. Next, we have the Right to Censor with Steven Richards taking on Tazz and the APA with Jacqueline. To start the match, before the bell, Jacqueline DDTs Steven Richards. This is like a 4-minute match. We see Bradshaw land a big boot to the Good Father. Bradshaw then lands a super backplex to Val Venus, and then a clothesline from Hell to the Good Father, and the APA and Tazz get the win here. Bradshaw is like the star of the match, pretty much picking up the heavy duty here, but
I think that it's because he was from Texas.
Yes, that's right. He did a big pep talk too.
Yeah,
before the match.
Did like a big pep talk about like bragging about Texas and how he saw all these different wrestlers when he was a little boy and in the same place. Mm-hmm. So, it must have really been his hometown.
Yeah, but I mean, there's really nothing to talk about.
I feel like the Acolytes didn't have a match. And Right to Censor needed a match for WrestleMania, and they threw them all together because they were the only people left.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about how like wrestlers and it was funny because you mentioned how there was like a bunch of wrestlers not on the card. Wrestlers like Steve Blackman, X-Pac, they were pissed. They wanted to be on the card supposedly, but
of course
they were going to do like an 8-man or something like that to put all the people who like weren't. But they were like, we already have 11 matches, like. The show is like a 4-hour show, it was
3 hours and 45 minutes.
But for us, it was when you were watching it live. They had it 4 hours. It was booked to 4 hours.
Yeah,
they have stuff
there
that
would
they
be
took
other
off.
stuff, right?
Which I hate. I wish I was actually looking online to try to see if they had like a VHS copy, so we could have seen like all of the like promos that you don't see on. Not that they take off promos, but I like to see like the commercials for like Shop Zone or like I like to really watch it as if I'm in that time, kind of. Yeah. Anyways, we have the WWF Hardcore Championship on the line in a triple threat. The champion Raven defending against Kane and the Big Show, and this match pretty much took place backstage. We see Big Show slam Kane on a wooden pallet backstage, and then Kane tosses Raven through a glass window. Kane and Big Show break through a wall backstage, which you called that was going to happen. It was like set up for them.
There was this whole like little room set up, and it was like fake like cardboard drywall, so they could like look tough throwing each other through the wall.
Kane runs over Raven with a golf cart, and then they fight back onto the ramp. Kane lands a big boot to Raven and tosses. Well, Big Show has Raven up in a military press. And then Kane big boots Big Show. They both fall off the stage. And then Kane jumps off with a leg drop. And he becomes the new Hardcore Champion. The Big Red Machine is now the Hardcore Champion. It was an okay match. I like the stunts. Like I like the glass. And as a kid, I probably really enjoyed this. But
it was very like attitude. And it was a good match.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think of Kane as Hardcore Champion?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think Kane's a good wrestler. And he sticks around a while. I think Kane could fight hardcore. Okay. He already kind of is hardcore, but not in such a trashy way as we think of it. He's more like a demonist hardcore.
Yeah. WWF European Champion Test defends the title against Eddie Guerrero at Perry Saturn. This humongous fucking hat looking like Dr. Seuss the cat in the hat. But it was all like white and
it was like the Playboy. Those Playboy hats.
And then he had the Hulk Hogan white mustache going, so it was kind of weird.
The furry hat, the big furry hat.
Throughout the match, Eddie attacks Tess's ankle, trying to get the big guy down. Eddie ends up low blowing Tess. Perry lands a modified suplex at Tess, but Tess kicks out. Tess lands a big boot to Perry Saturn and Eddie Guerrero, but then Dean Malenko gets involved with the referee. Eddie hits Tess with the title, and we have a new WWF European Champion, Eddie Guerrero. Thanks to the Radicals, they came out of nowhere and helped him.
Yeah.
I think it was that hat. He had a good, and after the match, Eddie actually put the hat on. But it was a good luck charm. What did you think of Eddie getting the victory?
I wanted Eddie to win. His character's growing on me. So I was glad he won.
Yeah, it wasn't a great match. I do like Eddie, but he was fighting Tess, so it's kind of like Next up, we have Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit, and these two men, mat wrestlers, start the match. They're trying to figure out who is the best technical wrestler, so I understand why they started off like that. But then Angle attacked Benoit, tossing him into the announce desk and the ring steps. Angle lands a belly to belly, and then Benoit applies an ankle lock to Angle. Angle then applies a crossface to Benoit, but Benoit gets his foot on the ropes. The referee gets knocked out. Benoit applies a crossface again. Angle taps out to it, but because the referee is knocked out, he can't, call it. Benoit hits a flying headbutt, but Angle kicks out of that. And then the end comes when Angle low blows Benoit, rolls up Benoit holding the tights. Kurt Angle defeats Chris Benoit here. He said he wouldn't tap out, but he did again.
Yeah.
So what'd you think?
Even though Kurt Angle won, Benoit has the satisfaction because he made him tap out.
I hated Kurt Angle as a kid. And I really loved him as a wrestler. But as a kid, I hated him. I hated how he used to cheat, and he used to always talk about, I'm the best. And I wasn't a big Chris Benoit fan, but I was like, you tapped out, like you lost.
Yeah.
But backstage, Kurt Angle gets interviewed, and he's like, the better man won. I beat Benoit. And then we just see Benoit come from out of nowhere and apply the crossface to Angle, and Angle again taps out backstage.
And it's almost like Angle's like very frantic, kind of like he's losing it.
Mm-hmm. And he's tapping out left and right. Next, we have WWF Women's Champion Ivory versus Chyna here. Chyna has been gone since the Royal Rumble, since Ivory and the Righteous Censor injured her neck. But she comes out and she basically no-selling her neck problem. She's like, I'm fine. Gets into the ring. Ivory attacks the neck, but it does nothing. Chyna lands a power bomb, and then she pins Ivory, but she's like, no, I'm not done. Lifts up Ivory, lands a military press slam, and nonchalantly puts her arms over Ivory, pins her, and Chyna, for the first time ever, becomes a women's champion. What'd you think here?
I like this match. I think Chyna had to dominate her like she did in this match. It was like, even as hard as she hit, she couldn't hurt her neck.
Well, she was supposedly injured. She was out for 2 months because her neck was injured. She comes out like, hi, I'm fine.
But it was good. I'm glad Chyna won, and I can't see anybody beating her, so I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
We'll see.
And I know our days are numbered with Chyna.
Days are numbered. We have the street fight here with special guest referee Mick Foley. Shane McMahon versus Vince McMahon with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. This match is like a year in the making. We saw Vince McMahon fire Mick Foley. He put his wife, drove her to have a stroke, and then she gets put into a home. He cheats on her with Trish Stratus, and then he basically embarrasses Trish Stratus, makes her get in her bra and panties. Then he owns WCW, but Shane shows up, fucks up Vince, ruins his plan to own WCW. He owns it now. And Shane comes out and shouts out the WCW wrestlers in the skybox. And honestly, there's really nobody there. I saw Chavo Guerrero in there. I saw a couple of people, but this was when WCW had nobody, and most of their roster was waiting out their contracts. So they weren't going to join WWE if they were getting paid all this money to sit at home. But moving on to the match, Shane fucks up Vince. They hit each other with as much weapons as they can. At one point, Trish Stratus comes out, wheeling Linda down to the ring, and Vince is looking at Linda, yelling at her. And then Trish grabs Vince and slaps the shit out of him. We then see a moment where, oh no, I'm sorry, prior to this, before that happened, we saw Shane jump to hit Vince with a flying elbow through the table, but Stephanie moves Vince off. So then Vince is like still recovering from that. Trish slaps Vince, and then Stephanie grabs Trish, and then the two of them catfight and brawl. Mick grabs Stephanie to try to stop her. Stephanie slaps Mick, so then both Mick and Trish go after Stephanie. And then Vince brings Linda into the ring, makes her sit in a chair, and he like yells at her. He goes to attack Shane, but then Linda stands up, low blows Vince. Mankind hits Vince McMahon in the face, and then Shane puts a trash can in front of Vince's face in the corner and lands a coast to coast. Shane McMahon defeats his father here. I remember as a kid thinking this was like a movie. Like I was a kid being like, Linda's okay. Like I really thought she was paralyzed. Like I was eating this up, and I'm sure like my brother and my family knew it was full of shit. And I'm thankful they didn't tell me because I was like, when this happened, I was like, home girl.
I could see you like your nephew watching, like
I was so into it. Yeah. So what do you think though?
This was like definitely the greatest attitude moment of the night. It was great. I think we're gonna get Linda back, and she's gonna cause a lot of problems through Vince. So
I want to know the explanation. Like, how long was she pretending to be? Was she really? Did she really have a stroke, or was she like?
Yeah.
She played really good too. I always love when people play people that have a stroke or like disabilities, and it's like they're trying. It's like she's all like, she's like slowly.
She sold that shit.
She was. She's slowly closing her eyes and like nodding off and shit.
And every scene she's in, she's just staring off.
Fuck being the fucking.
That's probably what she does in real life.
Education when she's around Vince. Yeah, she pretends like she's not at all. That's how they got the idea for the storyline. But good. It was a good attitude moment here. Next we have.
And I love Trish fucking giving it to Vinny Mac.
Yeah, you were excited for that too when she slapped Vince.
Oh, thank you, Trish.
Thank you, Trish. Next we have the WWF Tag Team Championships on the line in a TLC II. The Tag Team Champions, the Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boyz, and Edge and Christian. They're all fighting again. But this time it was interesting because we saw Spike Dudley, Lita, and Rhino all get involved. And then we see Jeff Hardy. He dangles holding on to the championship. You mentioned that his feet seemed to have been stuck in the ladder. Bubba had to try to get it off for Jeff. Jeff's dangling, and then Edge jumps off a ladder, hits a spear. They fall from like 15 feet maybe. And then we see Matt Hardy and Devon Dudley. They climb the ladder, but Rhino pushes them off, and Matt and Devon go through like 4 tables on the floor. That was crazy. And then Edge and Christian grab the titles, and Edge and Christian are the new Tag Team Championships. What do you think of this match, and how do you think it stacked up to their other TLC matches?
This match was good. I liked the spear off the top.
Mm-hmm.
Was it as good as the one at the Royal Rumble?
Royal Rumble.
Was it Royal Rumble? Where was the one they had the really good one?
Well, there is 2 of them. They had WrestleMania 2000, and then they had SummerSlam was the first TLC match.
I'd say they bring it up every time.
Yeah.
I'd say it's gotten better for sure.
Next, we have an interesting match here. Bobby the Brain Heenan and Mean Gene Okerlund come out for a Gimmick Battle Royal. We see like the Bushwhackers, the Iron Sheik, Earthquake, Doink the Clown, Kamala, Repo Man, Jim Cornette, Michael Hayes, One Man Gang, Hillbilly Jim, Brother Love, Sergeant Slaughter. And this match, literally, there was like no story to it. They were just throwing each other out for the hell of it. It comes down to the Iron Sheik and Sergeant Slaughter. Sheik backstory can't physically go over the top rope, so he ends up winning the match.
He could barely walk out of the ring.
No, and then after Sheik wins, Sergeant Slaughter applies the Cobra Clutch, and good old America, late 80s, 90s, hoorah. What'd you think of this?
Yeah, it was like, it was good for nostalgia purposes, but I still can't believe they fucking let him wrestle. Like, it was terrible.
It wasn't really a match, though. It was literally just like throwing people over.
Yeah.
I feel like they probably didn't know that he couldn't physically do it, and so they probably didn't
Well, they
initially
should
have
have
him
known
win.
looking at him. I mean, come on.
I
He
know.
was like in a wheelchair at that point half the time.
Let's talk about our next match, the game Triple H versus the American Badass, The Undertaker. Motorhead performs the game's theme song. Undertaker comes down a really cool motorcycle moment down the long ramp into the ring. These two men immediately go at it. We see Triple H land a face buster. The game grabs a sledgehammer. Taker catapults the game into the referee, then lands a choke slam, but the game kicks out. That causes a dead man to land an elbow drop to the referee. These two fight into the crowd, and then they fight into what I call a sky tower. And Triple H hits Undertaker on the head with a steel chair and attacks the Undertaker's leg with that chair. Undertaker then lands a one-handed choke slam of Triple H off that balcony to the floor, and then Taker lands a flying elbow drop. Undertaker grabs a sledgehammer, but the game hits a low blow. Taker hits a tombstone, but he kicks out. And then Taker goes to land a last ride, but the game hits him with a sledgehammer. Taker is bleeding badly from that sledgehammer shot, but the American Bass is able to reclaim it, land a last ride to defeat The Undertaker in the first of a trilogy of matches these two will have at WrestleMania. What'd you think?
This was one of my top 3 favorite matches of the night. It was really good. They both kicked each other's ass. It could have gone either way, but I was glad the Undertaker won, and it was really like the first time they mentioned it as a streak. They said this is Jim Ross.
I think the night.
Said he's had 8 WrestleManias and has never lost, so it's like the streak is beginning.
Sure
And
is.
it's got a long fucking.
And it was a good match. Like Triple H gave it to him, so it wasn't like he just destroyed him.
Yeah.
Our main event we find out is a no disqualification match for the WWF Championship. The Rock defending against Stone Cold Steve Austin. The crowd is heavily behind Austin during this match. They both slam each other onto the announce desk on the floor. Austin lands a superplex and then hits The Rock with a ring bell, causing The Rock to bleed badly. We then see Rock slamming Austin into an exposed turnbuckle pad and then hits Austin with a ring bell. That causes Austin to bleed badly as well. Austin then nails The Rock with a TV monitor, but The Rock kicks out. Rock applies a sharpshooter, but then Austin applies a sharpshooter of his own and then $1 million dream. Rock stunners Austin, but Austin kicks out. And then Vince McMahon comes out. And Rock hits a people's elbow, but Vince pulls The Rock off of the pinfall. Rock chases after Vince, and then Stone Cold lands a rock bottom to The Rock. Rock kicks out. Austin accidentally hits the referee and then low blows The Rock. Austin commands Vince to give him a chair, and then Austin holds up The Rock, and Vince nails The Rock right in the face with a steel chair. He did the same thing to The Rock last year at WrestleMania, hitting him with a chair. Rock is able to recover and land a rock bomb to Austin, but Austin kicks out. Austin lands a stunner to The Rock. Again, The Rock kicks out at 2. Austin hits The Rock with his steel chair and then rams the chair into the chest of The Rock, nails him at least 6 times in the back with that steel chair, denting the chair, and Stone Cold Steve Austin becomes the new WWF champion. After the match, Vince and Austin shake hands. They toast. Jim Ross is freaking out, saying that Stone Cold made a deal with the devil. I remember as a kid being like, holy shit, because for me, all I've known up into this is Vince versus Austin. So I'm like, wait a minute. What? Why? I want an explanation. What do you think? And I also thought it was interesting because normally when they do something like that, it's like the turn person, like Vince normally would have come out, hit Rock, and then it would have been over. And then the pinfall. But this kept going for another 5 minutes after Vince and Austin kind of turned. What do you think though?
Yeah. They did keep going after the turn. This was a great match. Definitely lived up to all the hype. I couldn't believe it. It was like the biggest shock of the night, obviously. I mean, they have hated each other for so long, and now it makes you wonder the plan all along with what he did with Deborah and everything. Were they in on it the whole time? I can't wait to find out.
All right. Well, before we go back into our time machines, a question for you. I have a couple questions. What would you consider to be the match of the night? What do you think is going to happen next? And what do you give this pay-per-view a rating?
What was the first question?
What was your favorite match?
My favorite match was it was hard. It was hard because there's like my favorite three were TLC, Undertaker, and Austin.
Yeah, those were good.
If I had to pick one, I'll say Austin and Rock because it was the biggest shock, the best storyline. So
I'll go with the TLCs to make it easier for you. So you
Yeah.
can go both of them. Get it. Okay, and then, oh gosh, what was my next one?
Well,
I said,
it's
what do
gonna
you think is going to
next.
happen next?
I don't know.
Because Backlash is on April 29th.
Yeah, I think that maybe there's going to be some kind of faction or something with Vince and Stone Cold or some team.
Okay.
I think Austin's going to be heel. I do. And I think Undertaker and Triple H probably are not going to just go back to bosom buddies on Monday. So.
All right, and then what grade? A being the best, F being the suck. There was 11 matches.
I'm gonna give it a B
plus.
plus.
A B plus. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you think it was a good WrestleMania though that you saw and all?
Yeah, it was one of the better ones.
Yeah, it was good. Well, with that, we're gonna say goodbye. We're gonna jump back. Well, we're gonna jump out of our time machines and back into 2025. Make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell if you like what you're hearing. We cover current WWE stuff. And you can check out our archive covering seasons 1 through 3. We're currently in season 4. And until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.